Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Look.
Hi.
It's our Today All Day viewers.
They came back.
They're looking good.
Oh,
too.
they are. Hello. You know what? We hope you are enjoying your Thursday, and we are so glad you came back for our digital show Today in 30. There's a lot to get to, and we only have those 30 minutes, so let's get to it.
Chop. All right, first, health officials are sounding the alarm about a wave of COVID cases that could surge even higher as kids head back to school, and also a potential new healthcare crisis if more and more people do not get vaccinated. We'll have everything you need to know.
And then a big victory for Britney Spears in court after another emotional day of testimony she gave against her father. And there's a new lawyer who could play a major role in winning her conservatorship battle. What's next for her? Stay tuned to find out.
Plus, today was a real legendary morning in Studio 1A. We had Chip and Joanna Gaines. They came by. They talked about their new network, their project, and how they are still looking to reach new heights.
And Hoda, I heard Mindy Kaling stopped by the fourth hour to chat with you and Jenna. I love Mindy.
We're very fancy. People are lining up for our show.
I know. I thought Mindy was the best.
We also have one of the breakout stars on our new series. The series is called Never Have I Ever. They're fun together. They're great. We even played their own version of Never Have I Ever.
Well, I know that got interesting because Jenna's definitely,
exactly.
She has, is all I got to say. Should we get started?
We should. It's time for
Today in 30. We want to begin with that summer surge and really some frightening new numbers to show you this morning. Take a look at this graph. It's really hard to believe. After months of decline, the curve is no longer flattening, with the number of new cases per day doubling over the past 3 weeks.
Well, the reason it's pretty clear, that highly contagious Delta variant now accounting for nearly 60% of new cases. And this comes as vaccinations have dropped 54% in the last week. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez is in hard-hit Arkansas. Cases there, get this, up nearly 300% from 1 month ago. Hey, Gabe, good morning.
Hi, Hoda. Good morning. COVID patients at this Little Rock hospital are doubling every 10 days. And doctors say that some of those sick patients are telling them that they regret not getting the COVID vaccine when they had the chance.
Over the past 3 weeks, new COVID cases nationwide have been doubling daily. Public health officials now expect the highly contagious Delta variant to keep spreading through at least September. Prime back-to-school season.
Unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. It's going to get worse before it gets better in terms of the spread of this infection right now.
But in some states, the surge is already here.
We're going to overwhelm the healthcare system here in Arkansas within the next 14 days.
Remarkably, the chief nursing officer at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences says for them, this COVID wave is the worst they've seen.
It's far more intense. The patients are sicker. They're younger.
Across the country, for many, a new school year is just weeks away. Kids under the age of 12 who are not yet eligible for the vaccine will head into the classroom without a shot of protection. 60% of children who are eligible for the vaccine still have not gotten it. So there are growing concerns schools could fuel the Delta spread. On Wednesday, pop sensation Olivia Rodrigo visited the White House to try and change that, speaking directly to her younger fans.
It's important to have conversations with friends and family members, encouraging all communities to get vaccinated.
The reason is clear. The 5 states with the biggest 2-week jump in cases per capita all had lower vaccination rates.
The tidal wave is coming towards our unvaccinated population. This variant is spreading quickly, and this variant has the ability to devastate those in its wake.
She shouldn't have got sick.
In Arkansas, Clara Myers' sister battled the virus for 3 weeks. She didn't think the vaccine mattered. She died on Friday.
It destroys your family in the blink of an eye. 1 minute she was okay, and then 1 minute she wasn't.
All right, now to the latest on Britney Spears, the pop superstar back in court yesterday, this time sobbing with emotion as she fights to end her conservatorship and reclaim control of her life. NBC's Erin McLaughlin is on the story again for us in L.A. with more. Erin, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. We thought this court hearing could be high drama, and it certainly met that expectation. Britney Spears making an impassioned plea to the court, speaking quickly, at times in tears, railing against her father and the conservatorship that she says has ruined her life. This morning, Britney Spears appearing to celebrate on Instagram, posting she feels gratitude and blessed, coming after her raw and emotional day in court on Wednesday. Testifying remotely by phone, the 39-year-old sobbed as she once again lashed out at her father, Jamie, demanding he be removed as her conservator immediately and be charged with conservatorship abuse, telling the judge she was extremely scared of Jamie and wants him investigated. This conservatorship is literally allowing my dad to ruin my life.
They're not really listening to what I'm telling them. It's like, it's bad.
Britney's 13-year conservatorship, the subject of a documentary.
I'm sad.
Jamie Spears has controlled his daughter's finances for most of it, with a second conservator now in charge of her personal affairs. On Wednesday, Britney telling the court the conservatorship even controlled her diet, saying she was often barred from eating hamburgers and fries and drinking coffee. Their goal was to make me feel crazy, and I'm not, and that's not okay. Through his attorney, Jamie Spears refused to step down, saying Britney has made a lot of misstatements, and he's been there for her 24/7. He loves his daughter, and he only wants the best for her. A judge previously denied Britney's request to remove him.
I need space.
Now the overprotected singer may be one step closer to gaining her freedom. The judge granting her request to choose her own lawyer, celebrity power attorney and former federal prosecutor Matthew Rosengart, who's represented A-listers like Ben Affleck, Sean Penn, and Steven Spielberg. Rosengart telling the court he will file a petition to get Jamie Spears out as quickly as possible, saying if he loves his daughter, it is time to step aside.
Given the allegations Britney is making against her father, why has it been so difficult for her to remove him as conservator?
Well, I think it's been difficult thus far because she hasn't had an advocate like the one we saw today.
Britney's new celebrity attorney says the goal now should be to free her from the conservatorship and her father for good.
The question remains, why is he involved? He should step down voluntarily, as that is in the best interest of Britney Spears.
The next court date is scheduled for September. Britney's new attorney says he may petition to remove her father within the next several weeks. Savannah.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Hey, everybody, Chip and Joanna Gaines.
And you're watching Today's Show in 30.
Chip and Joanna have been married for, this is your life, 18 years. Oh. They're the parents to 5 kids, ranging in ages 16 to 3.
How sweet. And when their show Fixer Upper premiered 8 years ago, it became an instant hit. It quickly popularized the style known as farmhouse chic, and it helped out Waco, Texas big time. Yeah. It put home renovation on the map. And after ending that show to take a little time out of the spotlight, they're back, babe, with their biggest project yet, and we're so glad they made it to Studio 1A to hang with us for a couple of hours. First of all, the biggest change of all is happening in that chair.
Look at this.
We need a French braid.
Yes.
We need a little bit of extra conditioner.
Chip Gaines is coming and not Fabio. What's happening?
I like her style.
Yeah, talk to us.
I get this. It's like the rest of the country, sadly, in some ways. You know, it's like nobody can agree on anything. You're either in this camp or you're in this camp. Well, Twitter is very similar in that regard with my hair. It's either you love this or you
hate it. Well, let's ask, what does Joanna say?
Joe's the one.
It's grown on me.
No, it has not.
It has, but yeah, I mean, it's grown on me. You know, he's about to shave it.
Okay.
Like, really? I actually like it. I think it's cute.
But I think I'm going to miss it for sure.
It's a 50-50. You are either in one camp or the other.
Where do
There's
you
absolutely no.
I say cut it.
I like
right
it.
off the bat. She goes, "Oh, sweetie." She was touching my face like my mom. Oh, I just don't like it at all. I need you to cut it.
You grew it out for a reason, though.
Yes.
I did, yeah. Well, twofold. I mean, it's evolved into a real philanthropic, and I'm excited about raising the money part. So that's kind of the back end of it. But at the beginning, I was telling Hoda this yesterday. It's like the pandemic hit, and it was just like we just cut that out of our typical routine, like probably most people, you know. And so after it got a little longer and a little longer, I just was like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I mean, I'm going to grow this out. I was telling Hoda, it's like I like to continue to bring in like bucket lister type situations into my life. And I was like, hey, when I die, I'm going to say, do you remember that season that I had that long hair?
Long hair.
And when I'm bald as a bat here in a couple of months after we shave it literally razor blade bald, then I'll say I've never been bald before either. So.
Well, you guys, we're going to talk about your kids. You have 5 of them, but you have a 6th that you're about to give birth to, and that's this.
It does feel like
this
that.
feels like
Little
your
Maggie.
6th child, a big
Little Maggie.
network.
Little Maggie.
How does the Magnolia Network feel on the big day?
This morning I sat there, I was in the bathroom and I was crying, and I was like, why am I crying? It felt like I just gave birth. I always cry when I give birth, but it was like,
for sure.
This is a baby, 2.5 years in the making, and today
Tears
is
of
her
joy.
debut. So we're so excited.
It is. And it is years in the making.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've been pregnant with this baby for years.
Yes.
But because you kind of shocked the whole wide world when you left Fixer Upper, because you left at the height of your popularity, which you probably figured out nobody does that. You were so popular. Your fans were devastated. They loved you so much. It wasn't at all clear that you were going to come back to TV.
Sure.
You weren't sure you were going to, but you came back because you got a whole network. So you're really doing all kinds of shows, but you're doing Fixer Upper. It's coming back too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I think what we loved about the network was getting to highlight other people's stories. And when you meet the people on the network and you see their stories, I mean, when
Hoda
we
got
meet
to
with
yesterday,
them,
and we all cried.
They're so passionate about what they
Passionate,
do.
powerful.
Inspiring people, so we're excited about highlighting them.
Yeah, I mean, the people who you have on your show are all winners, and I was just thinking to myself, but you guys, you said something interesting. You needed a break to decide that you were going to go on.
Yeah.
And in that break, you guys were, I think, at a real low point, which surprised me to hear. I didn't know that, but what was happening in that moment?
You know,
sure.
5 seasons in, which really translates to 6 years of being on television or filming on top of our growing family and our business, I think we were just exhausted. And when you start getting in that rhythm of just doing and then you forget the why, which I think by season 5 we were like just showing up. And I felt like inside we were just kind of slowly, it was like, wait, something's not right inside. And so we both knew we need to step back and just kind of evaluate what we're saying yes to and the why. And so we just said for a full year, we're going to not take any call. We're just going to sit back, focus on the business,
And
focus on home.
sometimes that's the beauty in that opportunity that we were given. Because we weren't chasing that opportunity, it was sort of given to us. It sort of fell out of the sky. It fell, came in through the back door, if you will. Because we weren't chasing it, when it felt like it was no longer filling us the way we had hoped that it would at some point on that journey, it was easy for us to kind of step away from it because it wasn't like that was the net goal no matter what. But can you imagine somebody in law school wanting to be an attorney and then finding out as they're taking the bar, I don't know that I want to do this for the rest of my life. Well, you've committed to that place. For us, it was a little more like, hey, if this isn't going to be our future, then let's step back and let's go find out what that.
So what was that time at home? Like, what was that, space? What did you learn about yourselves and your family?
So many people, I want to say this part, it's like so many people have experienced that the last year, and Hoda was talking about that. It's like people who thought going into the pandemic, oh my gosh, we're going to all have to click together and we're going to have to do this thing, click together in this additional space. Multi-generational families have come back together kind of for the first time, at least in generations, right? And it's like all this stuff has happened. We joked that it was like when the pandemic came due, like when it actually started, evolving, Joe and I were like, oh man, this last season has prepared us for this season. And it was like the sweetest season. I mean, it took a minute, obviously, because we were all anxious to do other things. But as we kind of started gelling and getting used to family dinners again and being used to just being together as a family, like playing checkers because we were a bit bored, we were just like, what a beautiful gift. It became a gift. Sorry. What were you going to say?
Nothing. I wanted to say you.
Y'all have a beautiful family. You're such hands-on parents. But I did love a little bit of advice, I think, Joe, that you have. A lot of kids are on their devices. And your son was on his a lot. And every time he felt a buzz, he checked his pocket, checked his pocket.
I think we do that all.
And you had a solution.
For sure.
Well, I think, as we
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Right, exactly. We just created this.
It's my mom. Hold on.
Stop.
I'll call you back. Okay, I love you.
It's actually your hairdresser.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Finally. We have this little station where everyone charges their phone, and finally we decided, we don't like how our kids, they almost look like robots with, all of us. We're just like, when it buzzes, you've got to check it. And when they're reading, they're checking it. And it just became a house rule when you're at home. all the phones go on one spot. So if you want to check a text, if you want to check an email, you go to that spot, but it's not on your body. So it's like no phones on body. That's the rule at home.
TYRA's brand, a lot of it is authenticity. And she's very honest about the fact that she dealt with bullying as a child. They called her a giraffe, or they called her an ugly duckling. Where was that girl versus this model?
You know, you see how tall she is. She's 5'11", and she had a growth spurt, and it was the craziest thing ever. She grew 6 inches in a few months.
But how did you help her get through that?
I concentrated less on her appearance and more on her abilities and her character. We would take trips to the bookstore, art exhibits, the museum, because those are the things that she really loved doing.
So tell me then about your at-home photography business.
I was working as a biological photographer, and then I had a friend who worked in the fashion industry. She called me one day and she said they had an assignment, and I did it and was very successful and got rehired. In the process of doing that, TYRA would sometimes come with me on my photo assignments. A lot of the models that I was working with would say, "Have you ever thought about her being a model?" And I was like, "Oh, please." So one day she came to me and she goes, "Mom, maybe this is something I should look into." So I said, "Okay, you go and you do your research and you tell me what you find out about that industry."
So now fast forward in time, she gets a scout call that she should go to Paris. When did you get involved as her manager?
I told her that I would support her in whatever decision she made, because it's not my life, it's hers. But the one thing that I did say, once again, you are starting a business. You are the commodity. So you are going to study, you are going to know that business inside out before you step on any airplane. She looked at videotapes of runway models through the ages, and she said, "You know what? Every single one of them has a signature walk." And I said, "Well, looks like we need to work on a TYRA walk." So that's what we did.
And boy, did she ever, because we know TYRA's walk. She was the first Black woman on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover. One of the first Black models to sign a contract with Victoria's Secret. How does it feel as her mom?
I got a phone call from the president of IMG Model, and he goes, "Your daughter is going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated." I just sat still, just quiet, and I thought to myself, she did. She said, "I'm not going to let them tell me that a Black woman can't sell magazines." It was a feeling of accomplishments as a mother, instilling that much in your child, to know that she's truly a trailblazer.
What has it been like to watch your child become a mom?
I waited a long, long time When she finally decided that she wanted to do that, she had a difficult time, and I went through that with her. But when she finally did it was life-altering for me. I'm really happy for her. I wanted her to have another one, but she said no.
Don't push it, Carolyn. What is the one piece of advice or words of wisdom you would pass along to other moms?
I believe that to be truthful and honest with your children, create a relationship where they feel comfortable enough to come to you for anything. I think that's so important. I take my greatest pride in being mama, just being mama.
Mindy Kaling, she's an actress, she's a comedian, she's a writer, she's a producer, she's a director,
and
she's a mama.
She
can
does
do it all.
We've seen her work on shows like The Office, where she played Kelly Kapoor for 8 seasons, and of course, the Mindy Project, which she not only starred in, but she also created. And now the New York Times best-selling author is out with a season 2 of her wildly popular Netflix show. It's called Never Have I Ever, another project she, of course, created and wrote.
Yeah, it's a coming-of-age comedy about the complicated life of a first-generation Indian-American teenager named Davy, played by Maitreyi. In this scene, Davy is spying on her mother while she's on a date. Take a look.
Basically stripping.
Davy, don't jump to conclusions. Let's see if she answers a text from her only child. How's the work dinner? Getting a lot done? Just...
My mom just left me on red.
Oh, Mindy and Maitreyi.
That's big right there.
On a date with Common.
Good.
It's really good.
Yeah, on a date with Common.
I know, on a hot date with Common.
Mindy, did you know she was magic? Did you know that Maitreyi was magic right away?
From the moment we met her. I really, she's the most exceptional young actress that I've ever met. She's also my daughter.
Yeah.
And I thought that this would be a good time to tell everyone.
To complain about the nepotism that happened on Never Have I Ever. There was some nepotism, and we're talking about it
I wish
now.
she was my daughter. No, she was just this incredibly talented high school kid who, thought she, thought she could do it, and we saw her, and we're like, she's a star. So we feel so lucky to have her.
And Maitreyi, is it true that you saw a tweet and you just thought, you know what, I haven't been in any show, but let me just give it a try?
Yeah, actually, it was my best friend who saw it, and they sent it to me and was like, yo, we could have fun with this. So we decided to just go to our library community center and start filming.
I can't even believe that this is how it began, and it's magic. Mindy, this idea, obviously, it's very close to your heart, this idea. So are you using stuff that's ripped from your own headlines?
Yeah, I created the show with my friend Lang Fisher, and we were both nerds in high school, but we were ambitious and wanted to have boyfriends, and I just felt like we didn't really get to see that side of nerds, especially Asian women. We're usually depicted as kind of, demure, and I like this character because she's feisty and smart and has an anger problem, so it was unusual.
So it's a little bit like you. No, you don't have an anger problem at all.
A little bit, yeah.
I read how much Mindy has been an inspiration to you, Maitreyi, that you think of her as a mentor. Tell us why.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us why.
I mean, okay, obviously, huge fan of The Office, my favorite comedy of all time. But, of course, she plays Kelly Kapoor. But I think she's written some of the best episodes on The Office, in my expert Office opinion. So I was like, she knows, all the comedic jokes and does everything. I'm not even, trying to kiss her,
Listen, I'll take it.
She can do it all.
Tell me more.
No one can say that Mindy Kaling does not work hard, because that is, just a lie. She always is working on something.
And
it's amazing.
And to have someone, Maitreyi, who you connected to, who looks like you.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I get it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm so thankful to have, Mindy Kaling as my first boss. But as, The Office says, Michael Scott, friend first, boss second.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Mindy, Legally Blonde celebrated. Yes. We did a little bend and snap around here for Reese. 20th anniversary. Are you done writing? Have you finished writing the script? Where are you?
We're in the middle of it. We actually just had a call with Reese last week to talk about it, and she's such a great creative partner for that project. So yeah, fingers crossed, we'll see more of it soon.
Do we have any idea, what is the concept?
We know she's older. What's happening to her?
I cannot say anything. What a lame answer this is. I can't really say anything about it. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Should we play a little game?
We'll see some familiar faces.
Okay. Oh, familiar faces. That's good to know. All right, we're going to play a little game, kids. It's called Never Have I Ever, the late night edition. So this is things you've done. Jenna dropped her mic.
I dropped my paddle, and I want to play.
All right, things we've done as a teenager. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah, we're all ready.
Never have I ever crawled in or out of a window to sneak out at night. I have never. We're lame.
Okay, never have I ever snooped through a family member's phone after they went to bed.
When we were little, nobody had phones.
Never. No.
Oh, wait. Haven't.
You have?
You have.
Oh, my.
When did you do that? Whose phone? Tell us.
Definitely, honestly, everyone's phones in my family, because I know everyone's passwords, everyone's email passwords, everyone's, I have a really good memory for that stuff.
Oh, that's so awesome.
All right.
You guys, congratulations.
Congrats,
This show
Mindy.
is a huge hit, and we cannot wait to
Congrats,
see season
Maitreyi.
2.
We can't wait to see her future, too. It's going to be a big one. The second season starts streaming on Netflix today.
Ladies, you just interviewed my Trey and Mindy for Never Have I Ever. What'd you think?
I love how you did my Trey and Mindy Kaling, because
Yes.
my Trey is going to be
She's
a
a
star.
huge
I mean, look at
star.
her. You see, they're still right there. This is right after we finished the interview. It's a Zoom. And now they're talking about how amazing the interview was. Look at Jenna, isn't she cute?
They are saying.
I'm lip reading. Wow, that was amazing. I've never had a better interview. That's what it is. Never have I ever.
You know
That's
what?
it is.
This show too is so much fun. People loved it during the pandemic. Season 2, baby.
Yeah.
Should we watch?
Did you know
Yes.
Gigi Hadid has a cameo in it?
No, but of course you know. I just ran into
Bye, G. All right, be sure to join us for another big show tomorrow on Today.
It's a summer Friday, and you know what that means. Hoda's gonna. No, I'm just kidding. A live concert on our plaza. Dan and Shay.
Boom! Can't wait for that. Have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.